Hello, everybody. How are you doing? BeckyRaney here, and I'm delighted to come to you today and talk to you about sleeping. Sleeping is such an incredible, important, powerful thing, and I think we take it for granted. We forget that sleep is so important in our life, and we spend, if not one third of our time sleeping, and it's so important to understand the impact that when we don't have good sleep, what affects our body. Sleeping is a restorative and repair type process that our body needs to be relaxed and um, getting a really good night's sleep without having a lot of wake ups and stuff. And myself, I just woke up and I'm still kind of trying to wake up sometimes in mornings here um, to work with my India team. It's a little bit early. We have a time change that we do, and it's really messes everybody up, it seems like. But we're going to change our clocks back in a few weeks, so I'm really excited for that. So the cognitive function is really important to have a really good night's sleep. And I think a lot of people run around with brain fog and not being able to think of the things that they need to say and all that stuff. So our mental health and depression and stuff is also part of that whole functionality. This is a really good book, Why We Sleep by Dr. Matthew Walker. And I really highly recommend it if you're a person who struggles with sleeping. I have many people in India want just one thing to help them with sleep, right? But it's a whole package. Like our whole body has to work together with so many different things that create issues of not sleeping. And I remember when I had my major food allergies, I was not sleeping for, my gosh, it seemed like a whole year. I was staring at the stars, through the bedroom window. And, so our exercise, energy, and productivity throughout the day, physical performance and weight composition and detoxing the body, all these things are really important to help us sleep better. So the sleep is for rejuvenating the cycle of the body. We move in and out of various stages throughout the night of sleeping. So a lot of people talk about doing those sleep tests and stuff like that, which I think when I see pictures of the equipment that they put on them, I don't think I would sleep even with just that equipment on me. But the cool thing about sleep, is that it impacts our immediate strengthening or eroding our well-being. And I think about my gut health when I was feeling so sick. It affected my sleep, or maybe my sleep was affecting my gut health, right? So we're all, again, really connected. Basically, the higher quality of sleep, the higher quality of life. So that's just a really simple thing. I love following Dr. Axe. He's just a incredible a doctor, talks a lot about essential oils. He has a really good video on a lot of the doTERRA products. Because he's so big, I think he does his own essential oil line, so don't go buy oils from him. Um, but the natural treatments for sleep are really important, like how you uh, lay in the bed, the type of bed, the type of mattress. Um, you know, Larry used to snore really bad. And he lost a lot of weight, actually. He used to be quite a bit heavier. He lost weight, and his sleeping patterns and his snoring has actually disappeared. And it's really kind of interesting because when he would be snoring, it was kind of rhythmic. I kind of actually liked it because it was rhythmic. And when he stopped snoring, I'm like, are you still alive over there? But anyway, sleep apnea is a really bad issue. I think maybe my dad may have passed away with sleep apnea because he did snore really bad and had lots of interrupted sleep. It affects your heart, it affects everything about you. Um, it can take years off your life. Sleep apnea is very complicated. It has heart disease, stroke, diabetes, obesity, depression, memory problems, viruses and sexual dysfunction. Sleep disturbances also have been correlated with car accidents and poor job performance. Of course, that makes a lot of sense, right? Low grades in school, and more apt to have colds and flus. So, making sure that you're breathing or sleeping really well will actually help you with a lot better performance throughout the day. doTERRA had a really great article in one of their Live magazines. These Live magazines are incredible. Hi, Elaine. How are you? Good to see you. um, Sleep is just really one of those things that I think is actually an epidemic in our society now. We have a lot of issues out there where people are, we talk about ADHD, we talk about um, people not being able to study in school or do really good work and performance at work. It's because of the devices that we have. It's because of the behaviors. They're not exercising, but it's such a key pillar of our health. And we really want to do a deep dive and take in and understand what's going on with our sleep cycles. So it all really basically boils down to our whole lifestyle, right? doTERRA has this wonderful uh, chart that we talk about nutrition and digestion. We talk about movement and metabolism. We talk about rest and managing stress. We talk about reducing toxicity and taking care of our health care. This chart, when I first started doing doTERRA, I thought, oh gosh, another stupid chart. I was really negative when I first started doing doTERRA because I was so sick. But I tell you, this is so foundational in our health. My whole gut problems started with bad gut health issues that had me not sleep well. And when we look at not sleeping well, then I didn't have the energy to do any exercise or get my metabolism in the right space. So there's all these different ways that we can go through and address different areas of our life in this wellness chart. One of them, of course, is sleeping. The Serenity Sleep System with the Serenity Oil is really powerful. Um, Actually, going through and detoxing our body. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, making sure that we lessen the toxicity in our gut and our organs. Um, Working out. You should be working out every day. That's something that I'm trying so hard to work on, going for walks and running up and down the stairways and trying to do resistant band exercises. But it's just carving out that time. And that's why it's so important to have those habits and those strengths, the systematic things that we do in our life to make that work. So first, like I'm just saying, making time, right? We are constantly negotiating our brain. You can take the day off. Your muscles are a little sore today. You don't need to go out and work out. Or, oh, it's okay if you sit up a little bit longer and watch that last TV program. Or, we always have something that we're negotiating with that has us get out of our habits and have us not live our most optimal life. And I would really like you to take a look at what is it that you're actually negotiating with and give yourself more leverage on behaviors that you can do to actually help you have a more strength in choosing the right things throughout the day. Like like I just said, I could do one more thing. Like I don't think I got to bed till 12:30 last night. Busy working on stuff and here I am up at 6:30 in the morning again. It's like I'm not getting sleep right now. I That's not good. I know better. So we got to shape up, right? So when we're feeling sleep deprived, that's less than 6 hours, which I had last night. And, it really creates a lot of insulin sensitivity. It really creates more inflammatory response, meaning we're not having the ability to fight off things that come our way. And I notice that usually when I go traveling, you just get so tired and exhausted, and it just seems like it just opens the gateway for things to jump on you and cause sickness and stuff. Testosterone and growth hormones are decreased. Weight gain, I'm one of the things that we've been talking a lot about the meta power is that, how is our sleep? When we talk about all areas of our life and that training, it goes without saying that everything we do is all interconnected. It's like we're a big piece of puzzle, and putting those pieces of puzzle back together is really imperative. I work at a suicide prevention center, and sleeping is a big conversation that I have with these, and it's for children. It's for um, youth, like anybody under 18 years old. And most of them are not sleeping. They're on their phones, they're talking to people in the middle of the night. Number one thing I do is I tell their parents to take their phone away from them, but when they go into their bedroom, if they're going to go to sleep at 9 o'clock at night, say, okay, let me have your phone. And so many kids have TVs in their room. Take the TV out of the room. I didn't grow up with a TV at all. And I worked out okay. So we really want to make sure that we're taking an understanding of it when we're watching these devices, when we're watching TV, we're not exercising, it really does work on our emotions. And we really do end up having a lot of issues when it comes to um, fight or flight. We're in that space of having a lot of difficulties in being able to function with our emotions. And when I had my major food allergies, I was super depressed. And when you're depressed, I always ask people, how is your sleep? How are you eating? Are you eating a lot of sugar? Are you exercising? Is it that time of month for women? And going through and asking these questions all are so interrelated, and they do coexist with having a poor emotion and cognitive function and cardiovascular health. And when I go back to my dad, where he went to sleep one night and never woke up, he was only 59 years old. He was perfectly healthy. He was of good weight. He did work out. He did go for hikes and stuff quite often. But that cardiovascular health and that sleep apnea is all interrelated. And having um, really good functional sleep is so important. If you have somebody in your family who snores really bad and has interrupted sleep throughout the night, they probably do have signs of sleep apnea, and we need to get on top of a better sleep with them. So, here are some ways that you can have a better night's sleep. There's so many beautiful oils, when we go through and we go onto the doTERRA website, a lot of the descriptions of these oils are very, I want to say, passive. They have to be compliant. And so it's very difficult to know really what they really do sometimes, because, oh, they all have skin support. They all are soothing and calming. And so, but when we can look at some of the wood oils, I like to think about all the wood oils like tree oils like cedar wood. All these oils are very strong and sturdy, and they're going to be very supportive in creating and lessening the anxiety that we may be dealing with. Like if you go to sleep and your brain is like thinking about all these things and it can't shut off, well, that is something that we want to bring that strength back to our mind. Vetiver is my number one oil I use for sleep. I'm telling you, sometimes I like to rub it like here on the upper lip and on the bridge of my nose and maybe back here too. And I don't know, but sometimes it feels like when my head hits the pillow, I'm ready to go. I mean, I'm out. And vetiver does that to me. Some of these other oils may not be in India, but wild orange is also not listed on here. But wild orange is a really powerful oil for sleep because you would think, oh, it's an uplifting oil, right? Well, no, it's very, yes, it's uplifting, but it's also going to be taking care of the serotonin. It's going to really bring up those serotonin levels and make you calm and make you happy. And when we're calm and happy, we're going to have a nice rest. And so that's really important to know. Another oil that would be really good that's not on this list is Intune. And Intune oil is one of my favorites. This one helps me really be calm. It helps my brain start thinking and functioning more properly. And so sometimes that anxiety is that scattered thought, like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And this really, really help you put it back into play. So internal, you can also take these oils internally. Internally, I love, 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 love lavender and lemon together. Bergamot happens to be a lemon fruit, right? But it's Earl Grey tea. And so if you like to drink Earl Grey tea, which I know is a British thing, drinking lots of tea, Earl Grey tea is actually going to be very calming. It's a wonderful tea to have. Now, there's a recipe called lavender lemon lemonade. And taking lavender and lemon together and putting that is a very calming way to address the oils in your body or the calminess of your body. And so putting both of them in a tea is a really weird flavor at first. Like when I first had it, I thought, oh, I don't think I can do this. But now I actually crave it. It really is just a wonderful way to have a nice cup of tea before you go to bed. Bergamot and chamomile is actually another oil you could try putting in there. And it's going to take I'm not good at mentioning these chemistries, but L-theanine, I think that's what it is. But it's a naturally reoccurring amino acid that helps it make easier for falling asleep and sleeping more restoratively. So that is really powerful with these oils to have. You can also take a look at some other things like tart cherries, a natural source of biology function, methylene, I can't say that, that helps support the body's natural sleep mechanisms. So, really, I would try taking the bergamot and the lavender. If you don't have bergamot, try the lemon. And those are really wonderful oils to have as a nice, wonderful warm tea before bed. Even the warmth will actually help your body get some more calming properties. So, of course, topically, oh my gosh, I have a wonderful sleep blend. This is my sleep blend. And I do about 5 drops of each in a roller bottle, and I have that next to my nightstand before I go to sleep. And oh my gosh, these oils are just so amazing. It really just helps bring my body down. Another way you can actually topically use these oils is take a nice hot bath. Now, I don't think very many people in India have bathtubs. Do you guys have bathtubs in India? We have bathtubs here in the United States, and taking a nice hot bath. One of my favorite DIYs classes actually is to make salts, bath salts like Himalayan salt, sea salt, ancient salt, and putting them together. And you can even add magnesium salt. And I like to do different textures of salt, like I buy them in big bags. And you can get some salts that are more coarse and some salts that are more fine. And you mix them, oh, Epsom salt too. And mix them together in a nice big bowl and add your favorite oils. You know, one of my favorite oils in a bath is the Aromatouch oil. Oh my gosh, I'll be working out in the garden or something, and I can put 2 or 3 drops of the Aromatouch in the bath salt. I'll mix it up, maybe add some lavender, maybe some adaptive oil, mix it up, and then I put it in a nice container next to the bathtub. And then you take 1 scoop and throw it in the bath. Because of the different textures and sizes of the salt, it will be uh, releasing, I guess, over a period of time. So that's really nice. But the warmth really calms the body down. It really is just a wonderful way to really support your body. Now, another thing you can do is you can infuse Castile soap. Now, Castile soap you can buy on Amazon India. I've looked. I've actually bought it when I've done my tours there to do some DIYs. You can do lots of things with Castile soap. It's actually rendered from boiling down olive oil. Castile soap comes from olive oil, and it's a very natural soap, and but it makes a nice bath. You can actually even make a hair soap with it or something like that too. Okay. Now, level one, let's level up, you guys. Level one is the Serenity Sleep System. Now, here in the United States, we have a Serenity pill, and the Serenity pill is also another wonderful, like a melatonin type effect to the body. But the Serenity in that roller bottle recipe that I was sharing with you earlier is another wonderful recipe to use to help improve your sleep. Now, many of you in India have diabetes. We do here in the United States. I don't mean to single everybody out, but glucose metabolism is so important for having a good quality sleep. And I'm going to tell you, there's so many habits that we can change in our lives to be able to help us with having a better night's sleep um, and being able to get that regulation of a night's sleep stages. Okay, so when we look at level two, we're going to take the sleep system and you're going to maybe start doing the tea, maybe a few hours before you go to sleep. You're not going to eat 3 hours before. I mean, so many of you guys eat at 11 o'clock at night and then you go to sleep. That is so horrible for the body. Oh my gosh. I don't know why you guys do that, but um, I eat at 5 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night, and I don't eat anything for another 6 hours. I go to sleep at 11 o'clock. I didn't go to sleep till 12:30 last night, so I do go to sleep late, but I don't eat. And so having an empty stomach when you go to sleep is really powerful. Of course, you can take the tea, that's okay. And maybe considering taking all the computer stuff out of your life for like an hour or so before bedtime. Like no phones, no TV. Get a book out and read a book or something. I was talking to somebody the other day who said, Becky, I can't sleep. Give me some serenity. And I'm like, well, let's take a whole look at your whole style of life. He goes out and exercises before he goes to sleep. He goes for a walk before he goes to sleep. And I'm like, you're energizing your body. That's not going to help you sleep better. So the chilling, like, I am so hyper and my brain won't shut off when I try to sleep. So how many of you guys have that same problem? Like your brain is just like blah, 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 going around. And so couple tips would be to put a journal next to your nightstand and then taking this adaptive oil. You guys, this adaptive oil has been life changing for me. So much that it actually makes me emotional when I think about it because when I had my major food allergies, I was not sleeping at all. And when I started taking this adaptive oil, it actually helped calm my mind down. It helped me really be able to let those thoughts rest. Having a journal, just even knowing the journal is there, sometimes I think, is that even worth writing down? Like, have you ever journaled some stuff like, oh, I got to remember to do this and do this and do this tomorrow? And then you look at the list and it's like, why was I thinking that was so important? It was stupid. And so you actually, your brain is just sometimes on overdrive and it's really not taking control of the right things. GABA is the chill molecule and it's a part of the brain. It it is really the adaptive oil is really powerful for that. And succinylate, I can't say these words, but that promotes healthy emotional response to everyday stressors. So this adaptive oil has so many wonderful benefits in the background, and it's really, if you don't have this one, it's a must-have. Okay, so level three is additional oil support. Like a lot of these oils have these calming properties, but here's some other recipes that you can maybe consider. Cedarwood also supports the facial, you could put it in lotion, use it as a face oil. Really wonderful for supporting the frankincense is another oil that's really great for that. Another oil is the um, arbor vitae. Arbor vitae oil is another tree oil, and it's a really good oil. It's in India and stuff like that too. Clary Calm is really good for women for that time of the month. And sometimes when we're going through those hormonal changes during the month, that's really horrible too, right? So Clary Calm is a wonderful oil to roll on your ankles and the lower abdomen of your stomach. And again, I was talking about the vetiver. Mix that with the yarrow palm, you guys. The yarrow palm is really great for supporting the heart health. And if we're having high levels of cholesterol and things like that, this is a really good oil to help with that cleansing and detoxification of that. Now, how is your bedroom looking, right? So we want to look at the sanctuary setup of the bedroom. What does it look like? Do you have curtains that are really dark? Do you have like an eye mask? Like I can't sleep with those, but I have a girlfriend who she swears by it, and she wears ear plugs too. I can't sleep with those either, but so you can do earplugs, eye mask, curtains in the bedroom, really dark quiet. Is it quiet or do you have a lot of background noise, traffic from outside? Um, Making sure that like even this little Himalayan salt lamp is really a wonderful, it takes out the energy out of us. It's like helping us be more grounded. So I have one sitting over here. I love it. And I put my feet on it here when I'm sitting at the desk. Okay, I talked earlier about detoxing the body. Flush that junk out, you guys. That junk is actually really creating a lot of issues in our body. So flush the junk out. Detox. How often do you detox your body? So detoxing once every 3 months or something might be appropriate if you're having a weight issue, if you're having energy issue and sleeping issues. Do not eat again before going to bed. That's just going to have that food sitting on your stomach. You should be having 2 bowel movements a day. And if you're eating before you go to bed, that's just more chemicals sitting in your gut. And it's just eating away at your stomach lining. It's just not a good thing. Again, I talk about my food allergies. Maybe if you find, you think that you don't have food allergies, but I would still consider getting that food allergy test and making sure that maybe some of these foods that you're eating are causing more of an inflammation response inside the stomach lining. And it's actually something that you want to get on top of as well. We have so many chemicals in our processed foods, so many chemicals, food dyes, colorings, preservatives, all that stuff is causing toxicity in our body, which is going to make it much more difficult for you to have a nice habitual sleep pattern. Now, I love my coffee. It's probably one of my worst habits that I have, but I love my coffee. But don't drink coffee after 3 p.m. I can tell actually too when I have chocolate. Like if I have some chocolate in the afternoon, I have a worse time sleeping and I wake up more agitated. I wake up a little more grumpy. The lack of sleep can create weight gain. And during this pandemic, a lot of people gained a lot of weight. And so it's been a real struggle for a lot of people to lose that weight. And so detoxing the body is another way to just kind of be in a habit. I know some of my friends in India they take one day and don't eat anything at all. They do um, oh my gosh, my husband does it too. Um, See, I can't think because I didn't sleep very good last night. But anyway, it takes years off your life with not having a healthy gut. So really, you guys just really get on control of that. And if I can turn the page here. Now, here's another screenshot from an article that I put together about on Dr. Axe's page where I went through and I really did some research on why I wasn't sleeping. And we're not getting enough healthy fats in our diet. Like they said, there's a really good book called The Lies Our Doctor Tells Us, and they tried to put us on a low fat diet because they thought that was creating cholesterol issues, but that's a lie. Coconut oil is a really wonderful natural fat burning oil to have in our body. Um, Coconut oil. I put some in my coffee. I buy the solid coconut oil. We have a company here in the United States called Costco, and they have a Kirkland brand that's really natural. But in India, there's tons of coconut oil brands. Make sure you're finding a solid one that has a lot of the acids in there. You need the right kind of acids to be able to help with that gut flora as well. So other healthy acids can help support and control your appetite levels. Avocado oil is really good. And then you can go ahead and infuse these oils with essential oils to be able to um, help the whole body with that support, right? Now we love talking about our herbs in India, like ginseng. There's a lot of really good herbs that you can help you with your gut health and your brain health and things like that. Of course, exercising. We have wonderful bunch of oils to help us with exercise. Peppermint is a beautiful oil that we love working with to help open up and oxygenate our blood system. And making sure when you do exercises that you have burst training. Now, people who go for running for like 5 miles or do long distance running, that never, I mean, I used to be a long distance runner. I've done marathons, I've done a triathlon before, and I gained weight when I was doing that. And it's because your body's starting to want to restore that extra protein, the extra calories that you're taking in. And so, what you should do is do burst training. So, what I started doing is when I'm going out jogging, I will run really fast from a couple telephone poles down the road, and then I'll jog, and then I'll walk a little bit. And you're actually burning more calories doing that kind of burst training than you are just doing a long distance jog. So also using essential oils for weight loss. Again, I'm really, really super excited about the MetaPower. The MetaPower, actually, I have not. I'm going to be honest, I have not lost weight with the MetaPower, but I can tell that my body is reshaping into a better form. So my body is adjusting with that. Treat other symptoms. So again, you guys, we're a whole puzzle. Like we have all these pieces of puzzle for our body to come together. And so, do you struggle with acid reflux? Ah, that's probably because you're eating too late at night. So change that habit up. And then you also have maybe a bad gut. So work with probiotics and enzymes to be able to help make sure that that food is processing and going through your system quicker and not sitting around. Acid reflux can also be caused by having the bad bacteria. I was diagnosed with ulcers in the third grade. Can you believe that? Ulcers are actually a bad bacteria in your gut. They feel like they're burning a hole in your stomach lining, right? Well, maybe the bad bacteria could be right, but it's actually a bad bacteria. So detox the body. Don't eat late at night. Coughing is also an issue that people have a hard time sleeping. They lay down and then their system is in a different position, right? So that's going to make a reflex happen of them wanting to cough more. And so deal with that. We have breathe oil. You can take honey and infuse it with lemon oil and put it in your tea before you go to sleep. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to get that phlegm out of your system. We're going to be detoxing our body with that phlegm. So start drinking a lot of citrus oils and doing something like that to be able to help detoxify the body with that. Now, if you're a snorer, again, like I was saying, Larry was a snorer when we first got married, and he was a little bit heavier. He's lost about 30, 40 pounds. He puts them back on a little bit and then he loses them again. But when he's at his lightest, he doesn't snore. And so sometimes you can actually do some tricks like sewing balls on the back of night shirts or something so they can't lay on their back. And then they're going to be changing their position. Also, there's a such thing as a night guard that you can put on your teeth that will prevent you from snoring as well. It's actually, snoring is actually also caused by not having the mouth in the right shape, meaning we have our upper roof of our mouth is flat instead of arched. And so sometimes maybe the teeth need to be adjusted, like with braces or something too. Creating habits that are consistent. So consistency, you guys, I think we are human beings are really people of habits. But why do we constantly want to break those habits? It's really incredible. My cat, I have a beautiful, cute little kitty. She's so wonderful, and she is so habitual. We have our habits where she comes and does things with me every day. She follows me here and there, and when I'm sitting down, she sits next to me in a certain position. We are creatures of habit. And so really lean into that and look at, is it a good habit or is it a bad habit? And really be honest with yourself. Now, another thing you can do is put a nice little diffuser station next to your nightstand there. And now these diffusers, I didn't change them, but we have the pebble diffuser and the petal diffuser in India, as well as the bubble diffuser. The diffuser is not going to work for you when you're sleeping because it's motion based, right? So the pebble diffuser and the petal diffuser are incredible. I like the petal diffuser because I believe now it goes up to 12 hours. I have an older one which only goes up to 4 hours, so they've really advanced the product there. I have a thing of water next to my bed. I do drink water throughout the night. And you can always put some oils in there too, like maybe lavender. Lavender you can drink, it's an internal oil you can take. Bergamot mint might be another one to consider, or either we were talking about Roman chamomile or something like that too. Blends of serenity, adaptive, and we don't have doTERRA peace in India, but like using the vetiver, the lavender, the sandalwood, all these oils are really, really powerful to put in a diffuser blend. And what I like to do is I like to take a dropper. I think I have one right here. I have a little dropper and I take an old oil bottle that's empty and I'll make my blend in there. I do my oils 100%. I don't dilute them in for the diffuser, but I'm sure some people do. I don't think you know, it's you're only putting one or two or three drops in there, right? So if you do your blend, then take the eyedropper and put in there, then it's easier to just distribute into the diffuser. Okay, now we have light, time, and temperature. These are three of the other areas that we want to make sure you're taking care of. Light, again, make sure your curtains are covering the light. Make sure you have your morning sunlight between 6 and 9 a.m. Now, here in where I live, during the wintertime, we have less light. Like it gets dark at 4 in the afternoon, and I think it doesn't get light until 8 in the morning. A really good thing is to go outside into the grassy area barefoot when the sun is coming up in the morning and that's going to really help ground your body. It's going to reset everything for the day. It's just really incredible process. Um, Now, they're saying using a salt lamp that's on a timer, and that's probably a really good idea. So if you're sitting there in bed and you're reading before you go to sleep, making sure that that's timed to go off, and then you know that's bedtime. Like sometimes you can be reading and a whole another hour goes by and you got really into the book or something, right? Temperature. My husband likes the room cold. I don't. I like it warm. So we have really one of those weighted blankets. Have you heard of those weighted blankets? They're really heavy. I have one on my side of the bed. And that weighted blanket, it just is like a big comfy, I just love it. It's so wonderful. And he likes it to be cooler. So we keep the room cooler and I cuddle up in my big blanket. And so some people even get so hot. I'm sure in India you can get really warm during those hot seasons, and having a cooling mattress pad that might be a really wonderful way to help control the body. Um, and also, stress raises the core temperature. So maybe instead of doing tea before night, warm tea, try doing like maybe a cooling glass of water, um, so on. Now, timing. One of the things is setting the alarm clock. I notice that when I have the alarm clock set and I have it on the other side of the room, that your mind can actually know that you're going to wake up on time. Like sometimes you wake up like, is it time to get up yet? Right? Do you ever do that? Well, if you have the alarm clock set and you know it's always going to be turning off at 6 in the morning or something, then your mind can actually rest about that, right? Make sure, again, we talked about caffeine. This one says after 12 p.m. The other slide said 3 p.m. I guess you'd have to decide what's going to be best for your body and go to bed the same time each night. It was really interesting. I was talking to my mom. My mom is 84 years old, and she was saying that she eats at noon, eats at 5 o'clock, no matter if she's hungry or not. And then that way she's putting her body into a routine and she goes to bed at 9 o'clock, whether she's tired or not. And I think that's pretty amazing, actually. So what was once a punishment, going to bed when we were little kids, go to bed, was the kind of a punishment. But now it really should feel like a reward. Like we know that restorative sleep is a superpower for our brains, it's a superpower for us, and that it's really impactful for every area of our body and our health. So if you're dealing with any kind of health issue, I always talk to people about what is your gut health? How is your sleep? Right? How is your exercise? All of these things all have to be asked when people are wanting to take on and take control of their health. And again, when I first got started on this recording, I had somebody ask me, Becky, I just want one oil, one magic thing to take care of my sleep. Well, you can't do that. You have to actually look at the whole picture because it's kind of like you can't lose weight and keep eating candy and sugar and stuff. We're exercise. We have to really be mindful about taking on that. That's the same thing with sleep. So if you're new to doTERRA and you haven't joined yet, we invite you to become a member. You can purchase from us retail, but I'm going to tell you it's not going to work. I won't let you buy at full price. Let's get you joined up today with a wholesale membership and save 25% below retail. And you also can decide to take on a deeper discount program called the Loyalty Reward Program. Now, just like me, I joined as a wholesale member. I was never, ever going to sell these to people. This was a network marketing company and I was not interested. I was like very mean about it, probably because I wasn't sleeping and very toxic. And anyway, my girlfriend, she gave me some of the oils to work with and they changed my life. And then I started speaking and sharing with everybody. Oh my gosh, my stomach is so much better. Everybody wanted to join. And so I became a wellness advocate. And look here today, I'm serving people all over the world, helping them make a difference in their life. And there's nothing better than that. So I invite you to come on and join us and even get deeper discounts. Like I said earlier, you can join a loyalty reward program. And this is going to actually give you deeper discounts. The more you order, the more doTERRA is going to reward you. So each month being consistent, again, we're talking about habits, ordering every month. You're going to actually, after a year's time, get an additional 30% back in product credit points in your back office. And you never want to skip a month, and you always want to maintain at least 50 PV. PV stands for product volume. So we sell oils all over the world, right? With different currencies and whatnot. So doTERRA has their currency called PV. PV stands for product volume. And then you can mindfully, we can share all about the same thing with the same conversation, the same point value system. If you're doing 50 PV, then you're going to be maintaining the moving up in the ladder of the deeper discounts. If you do 100 PV, you get to earn commissions. If you do 125 PV, by the 15th of the month, you get a free product, which is really incredible. And sometimes there's a 200 PV product discount, which is really great too. So, well, I just really wanted to thank you for joining me today. And if you're new to this call, I would love for you to contact the person who shared this video with you and give them all of your information on how to get started, what oils you would like, what what things you want to work on in your lifestyle, whether it's gut health, sleeping, uh, different health issues that you may be dealing with. All of those we can work on together, and we'd be happy to help you. So, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.